Author's POV. My body hurt, Freen mumbled, massaging her sore shoulder from sleeping on the cold floor. She lazily grabbed her small bag before heading outside, taking one last look of the room, making sure there's no other things left. Freen closed the light and locked the door. Seeing everyone already gather around the bus, she made her way towards it. Her eyes went towards the smaller girl, laughing with a guy as Freen happened to know him too. He is the class president. Okay, get on everyone, just reminder. The bus won't stop in front of the school because we couldn't use a vehicle to go inside. So we will stop for about 500 meters from the school and walk. Please stand by all the things, and for the boys, you guys will be bringing the boxes, alright? Mrs. Pond reminded again, and they responded with a yes. Freen sat on her previous chair before with Risa on her side. Her body feels tired and she can feel her eyes slowly closing. It's not a really good night for her. Sleeping on the cold floor is not what she expected in this charity trip. Freen, are you okay? You look tired and sleepy, Risa said, noticing the girl is quieter than usual.
Yeah.
I don't really get enough sleep last night. It's nothing bad, I just couldn't sleep. You have insomnia?
Yeah.
I do. Ah, that's why. You can take a little nap before we get there. I heard that it is a 30 minutes ride from here. You can sleep first, Freen, Risa said, and Freen nodded her head, agreeing with what she said. Thanking the girl, Freen closed her eyes, leaning her head on the window. Not even reached 2 minutes. The girl already drifted off to her dreamland. Freen, we are here. Freen opened her eyes after feeling her body got shaken a bit. Looking around, she realized that they already arrived at the destination. Freen rubs her face, slightly slapping her cheeks to completely wake her up. Here, have some water, Risa offered, handing the water as Freen gladly take it, thanking the girl. The surrounding becomes silenced, leaving both of them alone in the bus as everyone already left them behind. Freen gave the bottle of water back before thanking the girl again. Are you feeling better now? Risa asked. Yes, thank you for asking. Let's go now, they must be waiting for us, Freen added. They silently get off the bus and seeing everyone already gather around, Freen slowly getting down the small stairs as she turned around, handing a hand towards the girl, wanting to help. Risa shyly took her hand and get down together, thanking the taller girl. Freen just gave her a small smile. Without them notice, someone watched their interaction since earlier. Becky looked at them, wondering since when did the student council president having a close bonding with the new secretary? Okay, everyone, we have arrived, please take the boxes and be careful when you walk, the lane is uneven so please watch your step, alright? Let's go. Mrs. Pond said. Everyone took the boxes, one by one. Freen carefully watched everyone as she wanting to be the last one to walk. Carrying the not-so-big box, she finally walked behind the person in front of her. How does it feels? Sleeping on the floor? Freen chuckled after hearing the familiar voice. She stuck her tongue out with a little scoff before turning her head towards the voice. Mark my words, you gonna sleep there tonight, Dora. If only you can beat me in rock, paper, scissors, Becky replied confidently. They walked side by side, the atmosphere become cold like a dark aura surrounding them. Last night you just got lucky, tonight I will definitely sleep on the bed, of Freen spoke up. You fucked yourself up last night and eventually give in to me. Maybe I am really lucky, huh? Becky said, looking at her with a teasing look. Freen scoffed, cursing under her breath. She never wanted to murder someone this bad. Becky really get into her nerves sometimes. She let out a deep breath, trying to hold herself down. You are such a brat. Freen mumbled softly. Don't start, Sapaloka, I heard you. Just because you are 2 inches taller than me you think I would be scared? Becky replied, smiling fakely, not wanting the people in front of them noticing their silent fight and how bad they want to kick each other. Later then, see you on the floor, Dora, Freen added before walking faster, leaving the smaller girl behind. That bitch. Becky muttered as they finally arrived at the small school. It only got one small building and also the mountain view behind them is amazing. Becky can see the kids excitedly welcoming them, making Becky's heart immediately melt down. A middle-aged woman walked, stopping in front of them with a wide smile on her face before speaking. Welcome to our school. The event went well, the kids are very happy with their presence. Becky sat on the bench lovingly looking at them playing with each other. Her heart feels calm with the surrounding. Suddenly she can feel a hand tugging her shirt. She turned around and saw a little girl beside her, looking at her with a sparkling eyes. Pretty sister, the little girl said, making Becky chuckled and pinch her cheek. What's your name, sweetie? My name is Sam, I am 7 years old, she said, still staring up to Becky. The older girl kneeled down, matching the height of the little girl. My name is Becky. You have such a cute name, Sam, Becky said with a little laugh. Sam smiled and touched Becky's hair. Becky have a lover? Sam asked. Becky feels taken aback with the question and tilt her head, Sam looking curiously towards Becky, waiting for an answer. No. Does Sam have a lover? Sam don't have, but Sam like someone, Sam whispered the last part, shyly looking at Becky, the older surprised with the answer. Sam like Mon. The little girl added while playing with her fingers.
Oh.
Really? Which one is Mon? Becky asked curiously. There. Sam pointed her finger toward the direction as Becky quickly take a look at it. The direction showing a little girl, playing with Freen that makes Becky surprised and look back at the girl in front of her. Does Mon know that Sam like Mon? Becky asked holding the tiny hands. No, Grandma said Sam can't like Mon, it's wrong because Mon is girl. Sam can only like boy. Sam sadly said looking down. Becky lifted her chin up and smiled while pinching the chubby cheeks of the little girl. She can see how much the little girl's eyes sparkle, showing the person she likes. Sam, listen, in this world, we can love whoever we want. Even if we are in the same gender, please always keep that in mind, okay? It's not wrong. Mon is a cute girl, Becky said, whispering the last part with a giggle. Really? Sam can love Mon? Yes, sweetie, you can. There's nothing wrong with it, Becky said, and Sam suddenly hugged her tightly. Thank you, pretty Becky, Sam thanked her with a gummy smile that could melt the older girl's heart. Sam. They turn around after hearing the high-pitched voice. It was Mon running towards their direction while holding Freen's hand. The taller girl looked surprised seeing their interaction. Becky then turned her head away, standing up. She tried to cool herself down. Why does it have to be Freen? That was Becky thought as soon as they arrived. Sam. This is Freen. Mon introduced the girl. Freen let out her gummy smile before crouching down, shaking Sam's tiny hand. Hello, so you are Sam that Mon keep talking about, if Freen stuttered. Sam look at Mon and rubs her head with a shy smile. Hello. Sam shyly greet Freen, making the older girl chuckled. Mon, this is Becky. It's Sam turn to introduce Becky. Freen look at Becky, seeing the smaller girl having a wide smile while talking to the little kids. She gulped down her saliva and looked away for a second. Becky and Freen can love each other. Mon suddenly said, making their eyes shot open hearing the little girl words. Mon. Freen called, adding a little chuckle. Why? Sam said, Mon and Sam can love each other. That's mean. Freen and Becky can love each other too. Mon and Sam cheered. Becky facepalm, didn't expect it, how innocent, right now. After their little talked, the high schoolers bid their
Goodbye
to the kids as it is finally the time to go now. Mon and Sam almost cry seeing Freen and Becky leave. The teenagers need to calm themselves down before finally decide to leave. It is one of the hardest decisions ever because of how much they already feel attached to both of the kids. The night almost come as Becky look at her watch showing it's already past 6 p.m. and the surrounding already getting dark. They passed on the uneven pathway carefully, walking towards the bus. But then Becky suddenly slipped as she shrieked in pain, falling on the ground. Becky. Mrs. Pond stopped and turned around after hearing her voice. Becky hold her ankle. She can feel the pain started to building up every time she move. The others already gather around her. Becky, are you okay? Mrs. Pond asked, crouching down, touching her leg. It sting. I'm sorry, I didn't walk carefully. Becky suddenly apologized. Can you get up? The older woman asked, Becky trying her best, but failed. Every time she moved it starting to hurt so bad. Mike came crouching beside her looking at Becky worriedly before looking back to Mrs. Pond. Mrs. I think Becky couldn't walk. Someone need to carry her, Mike spoke up. The boys starting to get excited and volunteering themselves to carry Becky. The injured girl couldn't think of anything else. As she just looking at her right ankle who's sting in pain. Yes, I think so too. We need to carry Becky, Mrs. Pond said looking at Mike. I can carry her. Let me do it, Mrs. The boys volunteered themselves, not getting the chances. Let me carry her. You okay with that, Becky? Mike suggested. Becky just nodded nonchalantly. He slowly touched her legs and held her arm. Move, let me do it. A voice from behind startled them. Freen came crouching down in front of Becky without making an eye contact. Mike looked at her and slowly back away. Becky feels speechless looking at Freen. The taller girl untied Becky's shoelaces, removing her right shoe carefully along with her socks. Freen carefully observed her ankle. She sprained her ankle. I will carry her to the bus and put some ice pack on her ankle. Don't worry, after we get back to the room, I will put it. I brought it from home, Freen explained and glancing to Mrs. Pond before looking back at Becky. Get on my back, Freen said, turning around, her back facing the injured girl. Becky, still feeling unsure, but then slowly wrapped her long arms around the girl's neck. With the help from the others, Freen successfully carried the girl on her back. After that they walked towards the bus. Becky still couldn't believe what's happening right now. Freen is carrying her on her back and Becky can smell the flower scent of the girl, and without her notice, Becky tightened the grip on her neck. Becky can feel her heart beating nervously. Freen haven't spoken a word towards her. Why would Freen suddenly being so nice towards her? That was the question lingering inside her head. Slowly getting into the bus, Freen put her down on her seat and decided to sit beside Becky for the whole ride while positioned the injured leg on her lap. Freen, get up. Slowly, please. Becky closed her eyes in pain. Freen looked at her for a second before pressing the ice pack again. After they get there, Freen immediately carry the girl, laying Becky down on the bed and get the ice pack she brought from home. I gotta put the ice pack for every 2 hours. It will reduce the swelling and ease the pain. You need to stay on the bed and don't walk, Freen said while focusing her eyes on treating Becky's ankle. How come you know so much? Becky asked. Both of my parents are doctors, so
Yeah.
I know a bit about the medical basics, and I just carry around the first aid kit everywhere I go. The smaller girl looked at her ankle and back to the taller girl, biting her lower lips. She wanted to ask something but feel hesitant. Why did you help me? Freen looked at her and let out a small sigh before speaking. The boys. Freen stuttered. What did you said? The boys, can't you see how excited they are for wanting to carry you? I know they just wanted to take an advantage to touch you inappropriately. So me, as a nice person, won't let that happen. Don't think something else, okay? Freen explained, mumbling the last part to her. Becky let out a small laugh. She couldn't help but to feel touched by the taller girl's action. Freen then let go her ankle and stood up. Just take a rest for now. I will explain to Mrs. Pond that you won't be coming for dinner. I will just bring the food to you, Freen said, her eyes shaking as it feels awkward for her to be nice to Becky after all the arguments between them. She also couldn't understand herself. Why would she be so nice to Becky? Thank you. Becky thanked her sincerely. Freen just hummed in response before walking out of the room, leaving the injured girl alone. Becky chuckles seeing Freen's nervous figure, but one thing for sure, Freen is a good person. After around half an hour, the door opened revealing Freen, carrying a tray of food. Becky woken up by the sound of the door. Mrs. Pond prepared this for you. Freen put the tray down beside Becky. Becky, still half asleep, just nodded her head and rubs her eyes. Freen looked at her and back to the ankle before speaking again. Before you sleep, I need to press the ice pack to your ankle. Eat the food first. Your hands are fine to eat, right? Of course. I'm not gonna ask you to feed me, Becky mumbled, glaring, making Freen let out a small laugh. That's great then. Hey, Freen. Becky called. The taller girl hummed in response, focusing her eyes on the injured ankle. You can sleep on the bed tonight. Why? You gonna sleep on the floor? With this broken ankle? You think I'm that cruel to do that to you? It's okay, I will sleep on the floor. No gosh.
Ugh.
I mean, we sleep together, on the bed, Becky said, her voice lower down. Freen looked at her, still couldn't process what Becky just said. You mean, me and you? Sleep together? On bed? Yes. I feel bad that you need to sleep on the floor, okay? You helped me so.
Yeah.
I just want to return it, Becky explained, her face red and not wanting Freen to get the wrong thoughts.
Oh.
I see. You sure it's not just an excuse to sleep beside me? Freen asked teasingly. Becky grabbed the small pillow and threw it to the girl. Are you crazy? I'm just wanting to be nice, okay? It's not like we gonna cuddle or what. Gosh, so annoying, Becky mumbled the last part while Freen still laughing on the floor. You are still mean, Dora. Alright, I'm done with your ankle. Get some sleep now. We need to get up early for home tomorrow, Freen said, standing up and get ready for bed. Becky, on the other hand, lie down on the bed crossing her arms. She put a pillow beside her basically as a barrier between them. Don't cross this line, Becky told Freen as soon as she lay on the bed. Of course, you really think I'm that kind of pervert, huh? No. I was just telling you, okay? Stop being annoying, Sapaloka. Nyanyanai, good night, Freen said, turning around, closing her ears. She didn't have a mood to fight with Becky for the 100th times. Becky huffed and turned around facing the wall. She didn't respond to the girl. Closing her eyes, she called it a night. Overall, Freen is not that bad.